Hello, and welcome to my channel. Relax, and get ready to listen to today's story. Now I'm going to tell you a story about a magical secret world, hidden in a magical forest. In the heart of a mystical forest, shrouded in an ethereal mist, lay the enchanted grove. It was a place of unparalleled beauty and enchantment, where the whispers of the wind carried ancient secrets and the trees whispered tales of forgotten lore. The grove was teeming with magical energy, its very essence pulsating through the air, infusing every leaf, every blade of grass, with a vibrant life force. At the center of this enchanted realm stood Ethan Blackthorn, the guardian of the enchanted grove. Tall and lean, with wild raven-black hair that cascaded down his broad shoulders, Ethan had an air of quiet strength about him. His emerald-green eyes sparkled with an otherworldly wisdom, a reflection of his deep connection with nature. Ethan had been chosen by the spirits of the grove to protect its sacred grounds. From a young age, he had felt a kinship with the natural world, sensing its subtle rhythms and hearing its silent calls. He had trained tirelessly to harness his own magical abilities, honing his skills in the art of elemental manipulation and communing with the spirits that dwelled within the grove. For years, Ethan had dedicated his life to preserving the secret world of the enchanted grove. He understood the delicate balance that existed between magic and nature, and he knew that it was his duty to safeguard this fragile equilibrium. The grove was a sanctuary for all things magical, a haven where creatures of myth and legend sought solace and protection from the tumultuous human world. As Ethan roamed the grove, he marveled at its beauty. Sunlight filtered through the canopy above, casting a golden glow on the lush undergrowth below. Flowers of every color bloomed in abundance, their sweet fragrance perfuming the air. Birds chirped melodiously, their songs blending harmoniously with the gentle rustling of leaves. Ethan's footsteps were silent as he moved through the grove, his senses attuned to the subtle energies that flowed through the air. He could feel the pulse of life in every living thing, from the towering ancient trees to the smallest insects that scurried along the forest floor. The enchanted grove was a living, breathing entity, and Ethan was its steadfast guardian. One morning, as Ethan roamed the grove, he sensed a disturbance near the hidden portal. Disguised as an ancient oak tree, the portal served as the gateway between the enchanted grove and the outside world. It was a well-guarded secret, known only to a select few who had been granted access by the spirits themselves. Curiosity piqued, Ethan followed his instincts and made his way towards the portal. As he drew nearer, he noticed subtle signs of an unauthorized entry. Footprints marred the pristine forest floor, leading towards the hidden entrance. Someone had breached the sacred boundaries of the enchanted grove, and it was his duty to investigate. With a determined glint in his eyes, Ethan stepped through the portal, leaving behind the familiar sights and sounds of the grove. He found himself in a dense forest, where sunlight filtered through the canopy above, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. The air felt different here, lacking the vibrant energy that permeated the enchanted grove. Ethan followed the trail of footprints deeper into the forest, his senses on high alert. He could sense a foreign presence, an intruder who had entered their realm without permission. The trees whispered warnings as he moved forward, their branches swaying in agitation. After what seemed like hours of tracking, Ethan finally caught sight of the intruder. It was a young woman, her dark hair cascading down her shoulders in wild waves. She wore a cloak of deep purple, its fabric shimmering with hints of magic. Her eyes, a piercing shade of violet, were filled with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. "Who are you?" Ethan demanded, his voice firm but not unkind. The woman startled, her eyes widening in surprise. I'm sorry," she stammered. "I didn't mean to intrude. I was drawn to this place, to the magic that emanates from it." Ethan studied her carefully, sensing no malice in her words or intentions. "You have entered the enchanted grove without permission," he said evenly. "That is a grave offense. What brings you here?" The woman took a step forward, her eyes shining with sincerity. "I have always felt a connection to nature and magic," she explained. "I've spent my life searching for a place like this, a place where I can truly belong." Ethan's gaze softened, recognizing the longing in her voice. He understood what it was like to feel out of place in the human world, to yearn for something more. "What is your name?" he asked gently. "I am Alara," she replied, a hint of hope in her voice. "Alara," Ethan repeated, testing the name on his tongue. "You have trespassed upon sacred ground, but I sense no ill intent within you. Perhaps there is a reason you have been drawn to this place. Come, let us return to the enchanted grove and speak with the spirits. They will decide your fate." Alara nodded eagerly, grateful for the opportunity to explain herself. Together, they made their way back through the hidden portal, leaving behind the mysterious forest and returning to the familiar embrace of the enchanted grove. As Ethan and Alara emerged from the hidden portal, they were greeted by the inhabitants of the enchanted grove. Luna, a graceful nymph with silver hair and eyes that shimmered like moonlit pools, approached them first. Her presence exuded an aura of calm and serenity. "Ethan, who is this stranger you have brought to our home?" Luna asked, her voice gentle but tinged with caution. "This is Alara," Ethan replied, his voice steady. She has entered the enchanted grove without permission, but I sense no ill intent within her. She claims to have a deep connection to nature and magic. Luna regarded Elara with a discerning gaze, her eyes filled with curiosity. Tell us, Elara, why have you come to our sacred realm? Elara took a deep breath, her eyes shining with sincerity. For as long as I can remember, I have felt a pull towards magic and nature, she began. I have spent my life searching for a place where I truly belong, where I can embrace my gifts and be among others who understand. When I stumbled upon the enchanted grove, I felt an instant connection. I couldn't resist the urge to explore. Orion, a stoic centaur with a regal presence, stepped forward next. His bow and arrow were slung across his broad chest, a symbol of his prowess as a protector of the grove. Your presence here is unprecedented, Orion said, his voice deep and resonant. We have long guarded the secrets of the enchanted grove, allowing only those deemed worthy by the spirits to enter. But Ethan vouches for you, and we trust his judgment. If you truly have a connection to nature and magic, then perhaps there is a reason you have been drawn to this place. Elara's eyes widened in gratitude, a sense of relief washing over her. I promise to respect the sanctity of the enchanted grove, she said earnestly. I only seek to learn and grow, to understand my place in this world. Aria, a mischievous pixie with iridescent wings that fluttered with every giggle, chimed in. Well, if Ethan trusts her, then I suppose we can give her a chance, she said, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Besides, it'll be fun to have another friend to play tricks on. Laughter filled the grove as the inhabitants welcomed Elara into their fold. They explained their customs, traditions, and their deep connection with nature. They spoke of the ancient bond that tied them to the enchanted grove, their duty to protect its magic from those who would exploit it for selfish gain. Elara listened intently, her heart swelling with a sense of belonging she had never felt before. She knew that she had found her true home, a place where she could embrace her gifts and be among others who understood and accepted her. One moonlit night, as Ethan delved deeper into the mysteries of the enchanted grove, he stumbled upon an ancient prophecy. It was etched onto the bark of an ancient tree, its words glowing with an otherworldly light. The prophecy spoke of a great danger that threatened to consume the enchanted grove, a force that sought to disrupt the delicate balance between magic and nature. Ethan's heart raced as he realized that the recent disturbances and odd behavior of the inhabitants were connected to this prophecy. He knew that he had to unravel its secrets and piece together the puzzle before it was too late. Seeking guidance, he sought out the wise elder of the grove, a venerable tree spirit known as Elder Willow. Elder Willow's voice echoed through the grove as he shared his wisdom with Ethan. The prophecy speaks of a darkness that seeks to consume the magic of this realm, he intoned. It warns of a time when the enchanted grove will be in grave peril, and only a chosen few can prevent its downfall. With newfound determination, Ethan vowed to protect the enchanted grove from this impending threat. He knew that he couldn't face it alone and that he would need the help of the inhabitants to uncover the truth and restore balance. Days turned into weeks as Ethan tirelessly searched for clues about the intruder who had entered the enchanted grove. His efforts finally paid off when he stumbled upon a hidden glade, bathed in soft moonlight. There, standing in the center, was a figure cloaked in darkness. Ethan's heart quickened as he approached the intruder, demanding answers about their intentions. The figure turned slowly, revealing piercing blue eyes that glowed with an unnatural light. It was a sorcerer, his face twisted with malevolence. "You cannot stop what is coming," the sorcerer sneered, his voice laced with arrogance. "The enchanted grove will be mine, and its magic will be mine to command." Ethan's eyes narrowed, his grip on his staff tightening. "I will not let you harm this sacred place," he declared, his voice filled with determination. A battle of epic proportions ensued as Ethan and the sorcerer clashed amidst the ancient trees of the enchanted grove. Bolts of lightning crackled through the air, followed by gusts of wind that whipped through the grove, uprooting trees and scattering leaves. Ethan channeled the very essence of nature, summoning vines to entangle his foe and calling upon the elements to aid him in his fight. But the sorcerer was no ordinary adversary. He wielded dark magic, twisting the very fabric of reality to his advantage. Shadows danced around him, morphing into monstrous forms that lunged at Ethan with razor-sharp claws. The battle raged on, threatening to tear the grove apart. As the battle reached its climax, Ethan realized that he couldn't defeat the sorcerer alone. With a desperate plea, he called upon the inhabitants of the enchanted grove for help. Luna, Orion, Arya, and others emerged from the shadows, their eyes filled with determination. "We stand with you, Ethan," Luna said, her voice steady and resolute. "We will not let this darkness consume our home." Together, they formed a united front against the sorcerer. Luna summoned torrents of water to douse his dark flames while Orion shot arrows of starlight that pierced through his defenses. Arya weaved illusions, confusing and disorienting their foe. And Ethan channeled the very essence of the grove, his powers magnified by the support and unity of his newfound allies. Through sheer determination and unwavering resolve, Ethan and the inhabitants of the enchanted grove managed to overpower the sorcerer. They bound him with enchanted vines, rendering him powerless. With the threat neutralized, they set about restoring balance to the grove. They healed any damage caused during the battle, mending broken branches and nurturing wounded plants back to health. They repaired any disruptions to the natural order, ensuring that the delicate equilibrium of the enchanted grove was once again intact. With the danger averted, Ethan shared the knowledge he had gained from the ancient prophecy with the inhabitants of the enchanted grove. They gathered beneath the ancient oak tree that housed the hidden portal, their voices hushed with anticipation. The prophecy speaks of a time when darkness will seek to consume our home, Ethan began. But it also foretells of a chosen few who will rise to protect it. The inhabitants listened intently, their eyes filled with a mixture of awe and trepidation. They discussed the implications of the prophecy and brainstormed ways to prevent future threats. It was clear that their strength lay in their unity and their unwavering commitment to safeguarding the enchanted grove. As they worked together to safeguard the enchanted grove, Ethan and the inhabitants formed stronger bonds. They deepened their understanding of each other's abilities and developed a greater sense of trust and camaraderie. The grove became not just a place of magic, but also a community of allies. Ethan found solace in their friendship, knowing that he was no longer alone in his quest to protect the grove. He marveled at the diversity of their magical abilities, each complementing the others in perfect harmony. Together, they were an unstoppable force, ready to face whatever challenges may come their way. With the threat of darkness still looming, Ethan and the inhabitants of the enchanted grove knew that they had to establish new safeguards to prevent future intrusions. They devised protocols for monitoring and protecting the hidden portal, ensuring that only those deemed worthy by the spirits would gain access. They also began training new guardians, passing on their knowledge and skills to the next generation. It was a solemn duty, but one that filled them with hope for the future. They were determined to ensure that the enchanted grove would remain a sanctuary for both magic and nature for generations to come. The battle had been won, but Ethan knew that their journey was far from over. He reaffirmed his commitment as the guardian of the enchanted grove, ready to face whatever challenges may come. The inhabitants expressed their gratitude to Ethan, their voices filled with warmth and admiration. They looked forward to a future of harmony and magic in their secret world, knowing that they had a leader who would protect them with unwavering dedication. And so, the enchanted grove remained a place of enchantment and wonder, its secrets hidden from the outside world. It was a realm where magic and nature intertwined, where the whispers of the wind carried ancient tales, and where the spirit of unity and friendship prevailed. And in this hidden sanctuary, Ethan and his allies would continue their adventures, forever guardians of the enchanted grove.